Middlemarch, by George Eliot. About the author. George Eliot, the pen name of Mary Ann Evans, was a prominent English novelist and intellectual known for her significant contributions to the literary world during the Victorian era. Her works are renowned for their realism, psychological depth, and exploration of complex social and moral issues. She was influenced by her devout Protestant upbringing and later developed a keen interest in philosophy and religious skepticism. In the 1850s, Evans turned to writing fiction. She adopted the male pen name, George Eliot, to ensure her works would be taken seriously and judged on their own merits. Her major works include Adam Bede, The Mill on the Floss, Silas Marner, Romola, Felix Holt, The Radical, and Middlemarch. Eliot's novels are known for their realistic portrayals of provincial life and deep psychological insights into her characters' inner lives. Her unconventional relationship with Lewis and her use of a male pen name caused some controversy during her lifetime, but she persisted in her literary pursuits. Eliot's works have had a lasting impact on literature, particularly in the areas of realism, character development, and the exploration of moral and social issues. Her novels often engage with philosophical themes, such as the role of religion, the complexities of human relationships, and the ethical dilemmas faced by individuals. Middlemarch is widely regarded as one of her masterpieces and is considered one of the greatest novels in the English language. Eliot continued to write novels and essays throughout her life. George Eliot's work remains influential and celebrated for its exploration of human nature, societal structures, and the moral complexities of life. Her legacy as a pioneering female writer and intellectual endures in the literary world. Significance of the title. The title of George Eliot's novel, Middlemarch, A Study of Provincial Life, is highly significant and provides insight into the novel's themes, setting, and scope. Middlemarch is the fictional town where the novel takes place. The name suggests a middle ground, indicating a location that is neither too urban nor too rural. It reflects the provincial setting of the novel, which is a central focus of the story. The town serves as a microcosm of English society in the early 19th century. By focusing on the lives of the town's inhabitants, Eliot explores broader social, political, and cultural issues of the time. The town's name suggests a journey or march through a middle path, implying a balance or compromise between various extremes. This can be seen as a metaphor for the characters' journeys and struggles as they navigate their lives within the constraints of their society. This subtitle highlights the novel's focus on the day-to-day lives and relationships of the inhabitants of Middlemarch. It suggests a detailed examination of the town's society, customs, and individuals. By emphasizing the provincial nature of the setting, Eliot delves into the limitations, expectations, and constraints faced by the characters. This includes issues related to marriage, class, gender roles, and social mobility. The subtitle also underscores Eliot's commitment to realism and careful observation. The novel provides a nuanced portrayal of provincial life, capturing the intricacies of human relationships and societal dynamics. The title of the novel encapsulates its central focus on exploring the lives of ordinary people in a provincial setting. Eliot uses the town of Middlemarch as a lens through which to examine broader themes and issues of the time, such as marriage, ambition, reform, and societal expectations. The title conveys the scope of the novel as a comprehensive study of provincial life, offering a deep and insightful analysis of human behavior and society. In summary, the title, Middlemarch, a study of provincial life, is both descriptive and thematic, providing readers with an understanding of the novel's setting, focus, and approach to exploring the complexities of provincial society. Summary of the novel, Middlemarch. Middlemarch, a study of provincial life, by George Eliot, is a novel set in a fictional provincial town in the early 19th century. It is known for its intricate web of characters, interconnected storylines, and exploration of social, political, and philosophical themes. The novel is divided into 8 books, each focusing on different aspects of the town and its inhabitants. Middlemarch, a study of provincial life, is a novel by English author George Eliot, the pen name of Mary Ann Evans. It appeared in 8 installments volumes, in 1871 and 1872. Set in Middlemarch, a fictional English Midlands town, in 1829 to 1832, it follows distinct, intersecting stories with many characters. Issues include the status of women, the nature of marriage, idealism, self-interest, religion, hypocrisy, political reform, and education. Despite comic elements, Middlemarch uses realism to encompass historical events, the 1832 Reform Act, early railways, and the accession of King William IV. It looks at medicine of the time and reactionary views in a settled community facing unwelcome change. Eliot began writing the 2 pieces that formed the novel in 1869–1870 and completed it in 1871. Initial reviews were mixed, but it is now seen widely as her best work and one of the great English novels. Book 1. Miss Broke. The novel opens with the introduction of Dorothea Brooke, a young woman with strong moral and intellectual aspirations. She wishes to lead a life of purpose and to help others, but her ambitions are often thwarted by societal norms and her own naivety. Dorothea's sister, Celia, is more conventional in her views and less idealistic. Dorothea's life takes a turn when she meets Edward Casaubon, an elderly scholar working on a vast but uninspiring project called The Key to All Mythologies. Despite warnings from others, Dorothea admires Casaubon for his intellect and decides to marry him, hoping to find purpose in supporting his work. Dorothea's idealism is central to her character and shapes her decisions. She sees marriage as a means to pursue intellectual and moral endeavors. Casaubon's character is established early on as dry, pedantic, and out of touch with modern scholarship. His limitations foreshadow the difficulties he will pose to Dorothea's aspirations. The book sets the stage for exploring the constraints placed on women like Dorothea, who seek more than the traditional roles offered to them. Book 2. Old and Young. Book 2 introduces Dr. Tertius Lydgate, an ambitious young doctor with plans to reform medical practice in Middlemarch. His story intertwines with Rosamond Vincy, an attractive young woman who aspires to marry someone of higher social status. They become romantically involved. Dorothea and Casaubon travel to Rome, where Dorothea begins to realize the limitations of her marriage. Casaubon's lack of understanding and support for her intellectual ambitions becomes apparent. Lydgate's desire to reform medical practices represents the broader context of scientific and medical progress during the time. Rosamond's character is established as materialistic and focused on social status, contrasting with Dorothea's idealism. Dorothea's experience in Rome marks the beginning of her disenchantment with Casaubon and her marriage. Book 3. Waiting for Death. Casaubon's health begins to decline, and Dorothea becomes increasingly aware of the limitations of her marriage. Meanwhile, Rosamond and Lydgate's courtship progresses, highlighting their differences in expectations and values. Fred Vincy, Rosamond's brother, faces financial troubles and must choose between his love for Mary Garth and his potential inheritance. Casaubon's deteriorating health creates uncertainty for Dorothea. Casaubon's failing health and marriage place Dorothea in a difficult position, as she contemplates her future. Fred's financial difficulties and his relationship with Mary highlight the challenges of balancing love and practical concerns. Lydgate and Rosamond's contrasting expectations begin to manifest in their courtship. Book 4. 3 Love Problems. This book focuses on the complexities of various relationships in the novel. Fred Vincy and Mary Garth navigate their courtship amidst Fred's financial troubles. Lydgate and Rosamond's marriage progresses, but they face misunderstandings and conflicting expectations. Casaubon's insecurity about his marriage leads him to make a drastic decision regarding Dorothea's future. His will includes a clause that would prevent Dorothea from marrying Will Ladyswaff, Casaubon's cousin. The book examines the different relationships in the novel, each with its own set of challenges and obstacles. Casaubon's decision to include a restrictive clause in his will reveals his possessiveness and mistrust of Dorothea. Their marriage faces early challenges due to their differing expectations and priorities. Book 5. The Dead Hand. Casaubon's will become central to the plot, as it has significant implications for Dorothea's future. Will Ladyswaff, Casaubon's cousin, is introduced as a potential love interest for Dorothea. Meanwhile, Lydgate's professional and personal challenges intensify as he faces financial difficulties. Fred Vincy and Mary Garth's relationship continues to be tested by Fred's decisions and Mary's strong moral convictions. Casaubon's will serve as a form of control over Dorothea even after his death, highlighting his possessive and authoritarian nature. Will's arrival in Middlemarch adds complexity to Dorothea's life and presents a potential romantic interest. Lydgate's financial troubles worsen, exacerbated by his marriage to Rosamond and his idealistic approach to his medical career. Book 6. The Widow and the Wife. After Casaubon's death, Dorothea faces the consequences of his will and her newfound freedom. Her growing affection for Will Ladyswaff complicates her life and challenges societal norms. Lydgate's financial troubles continue, putting strain on his marriage to Rosamond. His struggles are compounded by his inability to manage his finances and Rosamond's expectations of a lavish lifestyle. Dorothea's journey as a widow involves navigating her complex emotions and newfound independence while dealing with Casaubon's will. Their developing relationship is marked by tension due to societal expectations and Casaubon's restrictive will. The challenges in their marriage escalate as Lydgate's financial troubles worsen and Rosamond remains unwilling to adjust her expectations. Book 7. Two Temptations. This book focuses on the moral dilemmas faced by the characters. Dorothea and Ladislaw's relationship progresses, though societal norms present obstacles. Lydgate's professional and personal challenges reach a peak as his financial situation deteriorates. Fred Vincy and Mary Garth's relationship faces further challenges, but they work towards resolving their differences. Characters face significant moral decisions that impact their relationships and futures. Their love story becomes more pronounced, despite the challenges they face from society and Casaubon's will. Lydgate's situation becomes increasingly dire, and he must confront the consequences of his choices. Book 8. Sunset and Sunrise. The final book resolves the various storylines in the novel. Lydgate and Rosamond's marriage continues to struggle, while Dorothea and Ladislaw's love story reaches a satisfying conclusion. Fred Vincy and Mary Garth's relationship finds resolution as Fred matures and makes choices that align with Mary's values. The novel concludes with reflections on the legacies and futures of the characters. The novel ties up the various plot lines, offering resolutions to the characters' challenges and relationships. Their love story finds a satisfying resolution, suggesting hope and fulfillment for Dorothea's future. Fred's growth and their eventual union demonstrate the possibility of overcoming obstacles and finding happiness. In conclusion, Middlemarch is a complex and multifaceted novel that weaves together various characters' lives and struggles. Each book builds upon the previous one to create a rich and detailed portrayal of provincial life, exploring themes of love, marriage, ambition, societal expectations, and personal growth. Critical analysis of the novel, Middlemarch. Middlemarch, A Study of Provincial Life, by George Eliot, published in 1871–1872, is a complex and richly woven novel that presents a profound exploration of human nature and society. Eliot's writing is known for its deep psychological insight and rich, detailed descriptions. The novel is multi-layered, with a large cast of characters and multiple interwoven storylines. This structure allows for a thorough exploration of the social, political, and personal dynamics of Middlemarch. Middlemarch is often regarded as one of the greatest novels in the English language, praised for its nuanced character portrayals and its intricate depiction of society. Critics have lauded its moral seriousness and philosophical depth. However, some have criticized the novel's dense prose and slow pacing. Middlemarch, by George Eliot, is deeply rooted in the social and political context of the early 19th century, particularly in relation to the period's societal norms, political changes, and the reform movements of the time. Additionally, Eliot's language and narrative style reflect her intellectual background and commitment to realism. The novel is set in the fictional town of Middlemarch during the 1830s, a period marked by significant political and social changes in England. This era was characterized by the aftermath of the Industrial Revolution, the Reform Act of 1832, and changes in social structures. The novel takes place around the time of the Reform Act, which expanded the franchise and redistributed seats in Parliament. This political backdrop plays a role in the novel, particularly in the storyline involving Mr. Brooke and the discussions about the impact of the Act on Middlemarch. Dr. Lydgate's attempts to introduce modern medical practices in Middlemarch represent the broader context of scientific and medical progress during the time. His struggles reflect the resistance to change and new ideas prevalent in society. The novel highlights the limited roles available to women, focusing on their domestic and social responsibilities. Dorothea Brooke's intellectual aspirations and the challenges she faces as a woman seeking agency are emblematic of the restrictions women encountered in the era. Middlemarch portrays a society with rigid class divisions. Characters like Fred Vincy and Will Ladyswaffe grapple with issues of class and social mobility, illustrating the challenges of breaking free from traditional class constraints. The novel touches on religious beliefs and tensions, especially through characters like Casaubon and Dorothea. Religion plays a role in shaping characters' moral outlook and choices. Eliot's writing is known for its detailed descriptions and psychological realism. She meticulously presents the internal thoughts and motivations of her characters, providing readers with a deep understanding of their struggles and dilemmas. The novel features an omniscient narrator who offers philosophical reflections and insights into the characters' lives. This narrative voice allows Eliot to provide commentary on social and moral issues, enriching the reader's understanding of the broader context. Eliot's language is often dense and intellectual, reflecting her own scholarly background. She includes allusions to literature, philosophy, and classical works, adding depth and complexity to the narrative. The novel's dialogue captures the speech patterns and vernacular of the time, offering a sense of authenticity to the characters and setting. The use of dialect and colloquial expressions adds to the realism of the novel. Eliot employs symbolism and metaphor to convey deeper meanings and themes. For example, the idealistic character of Dorothea is often associated with spiritual and intellectual aspirations. The novel explores various aspects of marriage and relationships, often depicting them as flawed, difficult, and a source of unhappiness for many characters. The primary relationships are between Dorothea Brooke and Casaubon, and between Lydgate and Rosamond. Both unions are marked by misunderstandings and mismatched expectations. Eliot touches on various social issues such as medical reform, political reform, and women's roles. The character of Dr. Lydgate represents the idealistic reformer trying to bring medical advances to Middlemarch, but he is ultimately thwarted by the town's conservative attitudes. Middlemarch is a deeply stratified society, and Eliot critiques the rigidity of social classes and the constraints they impose on individuals. Characters like Fred Vincy and Will Ladyswaffe challenge these boundaries, while others, like Dorothea, navigate them with varying degrees of success. Through characters like Dorothea Brooke and Rosamond Vincy, Eliot examines the limited roles available to women in society and the consequences of these limitations. Dorothea's desire for intellectual fulfillment and Rosamond's pursuit of social status highlights the constraints faced by women. The novel frequently juxtaposes idealistic aspirations with harsh realities. Characters like Dorothea and Lydgate have grand visions, but their ambitions are often thwarted by societal pressures and personal failings. Dorothea is one of the novel's most complex characters, embodying the struggles of a woman seeking intellectual and spiritual fulfillment in a society that restricts her choices. Her marriage to Casaubon is a central focus, highlighting her naivety and idealism. Lydgate is an ambitious doctor whose plans to reform medical practice in Middlemarch are stymied by local resistance and his own personal failings. His marriage to Rosamond becomes a source of frustration and conflict. Rosamond is a more traditional and materialistic character, focused on achieving social status through her marriage. Her relationship with Lydgate illustrates the perils of unrealistic expectations. Casaubon, Dorothea's husband, is an older, scholarly man whose intellectual pretensions mask his insecurities. His relationship with Dorothea is emblematic of the novel's critique of mismatched marriages. In conclusion, Middlemarch is a masterful novel that offers a detailed and critical examination of human relationships, societal norms, and the pursuit of personal and social ideals. Its enduring relevance lies in its insightful portrayal of the complexities of life in a provincial town, which resonates with readers even today. Themes. Middlemarch, by George Eliot, a novel which is rich in themes, offering a comprehensive exploration of societal, moral, and philosophical issues of its time. Below are the major themes of the novel, along with a detailed analysis of each. Marriage and relationships. The novel explores the complexities of marriage through the experiences of various characters. Dorothea Brooke's marriage to Casaubon is characterized by her initial idealism and subsequent disillusionment as she realizes Casaubon is not the intellectual partner she had hoped for. Lydgate and Rosamond's marriage highlights the challenges of differing expectations within a marriage. Lydgate's ambition clashes with Rosamond's desire for a comfortable and affluent lifestyle. In contrast, Fred Vincy and Mary Garth's relationship demonstrates mutual respect and understanding, serving as a counterpoint to the difficulties faced by other couples. Ambition and idealism. Dorothea's desire to lead a meaningful life and contribute to the greater good is central to her character. However, her ambitions are often thwarted by societal expectations and her own idealism. Lydgate's ambitions to reform medical practice in Middlemarch are met with resistance, highlighting the challenges faced by innovators in a conservative society. Social expectations and gender roles. The novel examines the limited opportunities available to women during the period, as seen in Dorothea's struggle to find fulfillment within the constraints of her marriage. Characters like Dorothea and Rosamond represent different responses to societal expectations. Dorothea seeks intellectual and moral fulfillment, while Rosamond conforms to traditional roles. Class and social mobility. Middlemarch is a society with rigid class distinctions. The novel explores the impact of these divisions on the characters' lives and relationships. Fred's struggles with his family's expectations and his love for Mary Garth illustrate the challenges of navigating class and social mobility. Religion and morality. Characters like Mary Garth and Dorothea serve as moral centers in the novel, guided by their principles and desire to do good. The novel touches on religious beliefs and tensions, especially through Casaubon's scholarship and Dorothea's spiritual aspirations. Money and power. Financial difficulties are a recurring theme, particularly for Lydgate and Fred Vincy. Money influences characters' choices and the trajectory of their lives. The novel explores power dynamics within relationships, particularly between husbands and wives, and the influence of wealth and status. The individual and society. The novel touches on broader issues of social reform and change, particularly in relation to the Reform Act of 1832 and the impact of progress on Middlemarch. The interconnected lives of the characters reflect the complexities of community dynamics and the influence of society on individual choices. Legacy and reputation. The novel examines how characters' actions and choices contribute to their legacies and reputations within the community. The conclusion of the novel reflects on the lasting impact of the characters' lives and the ways in which their stories have shaped Middlemarch. In summary, Middlemarch offers a multifaceted exploration of themes such as marriage, ambition, societal expectations, class, religion, money, individualism, and legacy. Eliot's nuanced portrayal of these themes contributes to the novel's status as a classic work of literature, offering insights into the human experience and society. Characterization. Middlemarch, by George Eliot, is known for its rich and complex characters, each of whom plays a significant role in the novel's intricate narrative. Below is a detailed analysis of the major characters in the novel. Dorothea Brooke. Dorothea is an idealistic and passionate young woman with a strong moral compass. She aspires to lead a life of purpose and contribute to the greater good. Her decision to marry Casaubon stems from her desire to support his intellectual work, but the marriage leads to disillusionment as she realizes his limitations. Dorothea finds a kindred spirit in Will Ladyswaff, whose progressive and artistic nature aligns with her own. Throughout the novel, Dorothea evolves from an idealistic young woman to a more mature and self-aware individual who learns to balance her aspirations with the realities of her life. Edward Casaubon. Casaubon is an elderly scholar working on a vast and uninspiring project called The Key to All Mythologies. He is dry, pedantic, and conservative in his thinking. Casaubon's marriage to Dorothea is marked by his possessiveness and insecurity. He struggles with her expectations and his own inadequacies. Casaubon's will, which includes a restrictive clause regarding Dorothea's remarriage, reveals his controlling nature even after his death. Tertius Lydgate. Lydgate is an ambitious young doctor who aims to reform medical practice in Middlemarch. He is idealistic, progressive, and passionate about his work. His marriage to Rosamond is challenging due to their differing expectations and financial struggles. Rosamond's materialism contrasts with Lydgate's focus on his career. Lydgate faces financial difficulties and professional setbacks as he tries to navigate the conservative society of Middlemarch. Rosamond Vincy. Rosamond is an attractive and intelligent young woman with aspirations for a comfortable and affluent lifestyle. She is known for her charm and beauty. Rosamond's marriage to Lydgate is marked by her unrealistic expectations and lack of understanding of his professional ambitions. Rosamond's desire for social status and comfort often places her in conflict with Lydgate's goals, leading to tension in their marriage. Will Lady Swaff. Lady Swaff is an intelligent and free-spirited young man with a progressive outlook on life. He is creative and passionate about art and politics. His connection with Dorothea is based on mutual respect and intellectual compatibility. Their relationship develops throughout the novel. Lady Swaff faces challenges due to Casaubon's will and societal expectations, but he remains true to his values. Fred Vincy. Fred is Rosamond's brother and a young man of good intentions but questionable judgment. He struggles with financial responsibility and family expectations. Fred's love for Mary Garth is central to his development. Her strong moral character influences him to mature and make better choices. Throughout the novel, Fred undergoes personal growth as he learns from his mistakes and works towards winning Mary's respect and approval. Mary Garth. Mary is a strong-willed and principled young woman who values hard work and honesty. She serves as a moral center in the novel. Mary's relationship with Fred is a source of personal growth for him. She holds him to high standards and challenges him to be a better person. Mary's character embodies the values of integrity and humility, serving as a model for other characters. Mr. Bulstrode. Bulstrode is a wealthy banker and a prominent figure in Middlemarch society. He presents himself as pious and upstanding but has a troubled past. Bulstrode's fall from grace reveals his hypocrisy and past misdeeds, which ultimately lead to his downfall. Bulstrode's involvement with Lydgate leads to the doctor's professional and financial ruin, illustrating the interconnectedness of the town's inhabitants. Celia Brooke. Celia, Dorothea's sister, is more conventional and pragmatic. She represents the traditional role of women in society. Celia's marriage to Sir James Chetham contrasts with Dorothea's marriage to Casaubon, highlighting different approaches to relationships. These major characters and their interactions form the backbone of the novel, providing insights into the complexities of provincial life and the broader themes of ambition, relationships, societal expectations, and morality. Each character's journey and development contribute to the rich tapestry of Middlemarch. Q. 1. How does Middlemarch represent the rise of the middle class? Consider the theme of choice of vocation. Consider the significance of money. Consider the rise of the Protestant moral value system. Anne's Middlemarch, by George Eliot, provides a vivid representation of the rise of the middle class in the 19th century, touching on themes such as choice of vocation, the significance of money, and the influence of the Protestant moral value system. These aspects are intricately woven into the novel, offering insights into the changing societal dynamics of the period. Characters such as Tertius Lydgate and Fred Vincy exemplify the middle class's pursuit of professional aspirations. Lydgate's desire to reform medical practice reflects the middle class's ambition to innovate and contribute to progress. Both Lydgate and Fred face challenges in their chosen vocations due to societal resistance and financial constraints. This highlights the obstacles faced by the middle class as they seek to establish themselves and improve their social standing. The novel illustrates the shift towards individual choice in vocations, rather than adhering strictly to traditional paths dictated by class or family expectations. Money plays a central role in the lives of the characters, affecting their choices, relationships, and social status. Fred Vincey's financial irresponsibility initially hinders his relationship with Mary Garth but ultimately leads to personal growth and maturity. Lydgate's financial troubles illustrate the difficulties faced by middle-class professionals in balancing their aspirations with economic realities. His debt and dependence on Bulstrode contribute to his professional downfall. Mr. Bulstrode's wealth and influence demonstrate the rise of a new class of affluent individuals who shape the social and economic landscape of Middlemarch. The Protestant moral value system is evident in the novel through characters like Mary Garth, who embodies virtues such as integrity, hard work, and self-discipline. Her beliefs guide her actions and relationships. Bulstrode's outward display of piety contrasts with his secretive and morally questionable past, highlighting the tension between genuine moral values and the facade of religious virtue for social gain. The novel touches on themes of social reform and progress, which are often associated with Protestant values of responsibility, self-reliance, and a focus on improving society. The rise of the middle class in Middlemarch is depicted through characters' pursuits of professional and personal ambitions, their navigation of financial challenges, and their engagement with moral and ethical dilemmas. The novel captures the complexities of a society in transition, where the traditional hierarchy is being challenged by new ideas and values associated with the middle class. Through its nuanced portrayal of these themes, Middlemarch offers a rich and insightful exploration of the changing social landscape of 19th-century England. Q. Why does Lydgate's marriage fail? Why does Dorothea's marriage fail? Why did they get married to Rosamond and Casaubon, respectively? Consider the contradictions between what they need and what they think they want in a spouse. How does self-determined choice play a role? How does chance play a role? The marriages of Tertius Lydgate and Dorothea Brooke fail for different reasons, but both are ultimately rooted in the contradictions between what the characters need and what they think they want in a spouse. Self-determined choice and chance both play significant roles in the trajectory of these marriages. Lydgate is initially attracted to Rosamond because of her beauty, charm, and graceful demeanor. Her physical appearance and confident manner appeal to him. Lydgate may also see Rosamond as a means of improving his social standing in Middlemarch, given her family's established position in the town. Lydgate's professional ambitions as a doctor clash with Rosamond's desire for a comfortable and affluent lifestyle. She prioritizes social status and material comforts, while Lydgate is focused on medical reform and progress. The couple's differing expectations and values lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. Rosamond is not supportive of Lydgate's professional goals, while he is unable to meet her materialistic desires. The lack of open and honest communication between Lydgate and Rosamond exacerbates their marital problems. Lydgate's decision to marry Rosamond is largely based on his own perceptions and desires, reflecting his choice rather than external pressures. Chance plays a role in bringing Lydgate and Rosamond together, as he happens upon her while practicing medicine in Middlemarch. Their meeting and subsequent courtship seem somewhat serendipitous. Dorothea is drawn to Casaubon because she believes in his scholarly pursuits and hopes to contribute to his work, seeing him as a mentor and guide. Dorothea's idealism leads her to believe that marrying Casaubon will allow her to lead a meaningful and fulfilling life dedicated to intellectual and spiritual pursuits. Dorothea's youthful idealism and desire for progress clash with Casaubon's pedantic, conservative nature and lack of creativity. Casaubon's insecurity and possessiveness hinder an emotional connection with Dorothea, leaving her feeling unfulfilled and misunderstood. Casaubon's will, which includes a restrictive clause regarding Dorothea's remarriage, highlights his controlling nature and his inability to truly connect with her. Dorothea's decision to marry Casaubon is a result of her own idealistic aspirations and her perception of him as a wise and knowledgeable partner. Chance plays a role in the initial meeting between Dorothea and Casaubon, as their paths cross due to social circumstances and shared acquaintances. Both Lydgate and Dorothea enter into their respective marriages with specific expectations and desires that do not align with their actual needs. Their choices are influenced by self-determined decisions based on their perceptions of their future spouses. However, both marriages ultimately fail due to the inherent contradictions between the couple goals, values, and expectations, as well as the chance circumstances that brought them together. These narratives highlight the complexities of human relationships and the challenges of finding true compatibility in marriage. Q3. How do secrets drive the plot of Middlemarch? Consider Will Ladislaw's family history. Consider Bulstrode's sins. Anne's. In George Eliot's Middlemarch, secrets play a significant role in driving the plot and shaping the lives of the characters. The secrets surrounding Will Ladislaw's family history and Mr. Bulstrode's past sins are particularly impactful in the narrative, influencing relationships, reputations, and choices. Will's family history is shrouded in mystery, particularly regarding his parents' relationship. He is the son of a Polish exile and an Englishwoman who eloped against her family's wishes, resulting in estrangement. Will's uncertain heritage and financial situation influence his choices and relationships. His potential inheritance from Casaubon, with the clause forbidding Dorothea's remarriage to him, creates tension and limits his options. Will's ambiguous status and lack of a clear family background create challenges for him in Middlemarch society, affecting his social standing and prospects. Will's relationship with Dorothea is complicated by the secrets of his family history and Casaubon's will. Despite these obstacles, their mutual respect and affection drive their bond. Mr. Bulstrode is a prominent figure in Middlemarch, known for his religious piety and social standing. However, his past is filled with morally questionable actions, including the circumstances surrounding the inheritance of his wealth. Bulstrode's secret dealings with Raffles, who knows details of Bulstrode's dark past, pose a significant threat to his reputation. Bulstrode's efforts to silence Raffles ultimately lead to his downfall. Bulstrode's sins have a direct impact on Lydgate's professional and financial situation. Lydgate's association with Bulstrode tarnishes his reputation and contributes to his downfall in Middlemarch. When Bulstrode's past is exposed, his reputation and standing in the community are destroyed. This public disgrace has significant consequences for his family, including his wife, Harriet. The secrets in Middlemarch contribute to the complexity and depth of the plot. They create suspense and tension, influencing the choices and trajectories of key characters such as Will Ladyswap and Mr. Bulstrode. The exposure of secrets leads to revelations and consequences that have a profound impact on the characters' lives and the overall community of Middlemarch. By exploring the role of secrets in the lives of its characters, Middlemarch highlights themes such as the fragility of reputation, the consequences of moral compromise, and the interconnectedness of individuals within a community. Through these narratives, Eliot provides a nuanced examination of the human condition and the complexities of societal dynamics. Q. 4. Why might George Eliot have written such a detailed novel about provincial life? Why does she describe the society of Middlemarch as a web? Consider the role of marriage. Consider the role of money. Consider the role of secrets. Anne's. George Eliot's decision to write a detailed novel about provincial life in Middlemarch can be understood as an effort to explore the complexities of human relationships and societal dynamics in a specific setting. Through her intricate portrayal of the fictional town of Middlemarch and its inhabitants, she delves into various aspects of life, such as marriage, money, and secrets, to offer insights into the challenges and opportunities faced by individuals in a tightly knit community. Eliot's detailed depiction of provincial life allows her to explore the realities and nuances of a community in depth. Her focus on everyday experiences and concerns lends an air of realism to the novel, highlighting the complexities of human relationships and societal norms. By setting the novel in a provincial town, Eliot can examine the impact of larger societal changes, such as industrialization and political reform, on a smaller scale. This setting provides a microcosm for exploring broader issues. Eliot describes Middlemarch society as a web to emphasize the interconnectedness of its inhabitants. The characters' lives are intertwined in various ways, and their actions and decisions have ripple effects throughout the community. The novel illustrates how personal relationships, such as marriages and friendships, affect the community as a whole. Characters are bound by social ties, expectations, and obligations that influence their choices. Secrets, such as those held by Mr. Bulstrode and Will Ladyswap, have a significant impact on the lives of others in the community. The exposure of secrets can disrupt the web of relationships and change the dynamics of the town. Marriage is central to the lives of the characters and the social fabric of Middlemarch. It serves as a reflection of societal expectations and norms, as well as individual aspirations and desires. The novel explores the complexities of marriage, including compatibility, disillusionment, and the influence of societal pressures. The outcomes of marriages affect not only the individuals involved but also the broader community. Money plays a central role in the lives of the characters, shaping their choices and relationships. Financial struggles and aspirations drive many of the conflicts and challenges faced by the characters. Wealth and its associated power influence the dynamics of Middlemarch society. Characters like Mr. Bulstrode wield influence through their wealth, while others, like Lydgate, face challenges due to financial constraints. Secrets drive much of the tension and drama in the novel. Hidden truths about characters' pasts and motives have the potential to disrupt relationships and change the course of their lives. The revelation of secrets, such as those involving Mr. Bulstrode and Will Ladyswaff, can damage reputations and alter the web of relationships within the community. Through her detailed examination of provincial life in Middlemarch, Eliot offers a rich and nuanced exploration of human experiences within the context of societal structures. By describing society as a web, she underscores the interconnectedness of individuals and the impact of their actions on one another. This approach allows her to delve deeply into themes such as marriage, money, and secrets, ultimately providing a comprehensive and insightful portrayal of life in a provincial town.